Hey, I got to show you something right away here. I'm just going to hit share.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Good, good, good. I'm going to share something right now. You're going to love this. Okay, so this is called Keylontic Science, or KS is what they call it. It's like a key, K-E-Y, Keylontic Sciences. Okay. And, oh, here, see it says it right there, Keylontic Science.
Yeah.
Okay. So the function of human DNA imprint can be progressively restored using the natural dynamics of soul over soul avatar, morphogenetic field, imprints of the DNA, so blah, 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 all this stuff, pineal gland, all this neat stuff that we're into. Okay, so here they're showing that the Earth is being unnaturally kept at a 23.5 degree tilt when it should be straight up and down compared to the sun. And this is part of what keeps it where it's at, according to the Keylontic science people. Okay?
This elliptic,
What's that?
this elliptic swirl that it's doing, that torus is always going on an angle.
Right. So here, if we look at portals and stargates, you can see that they're all about the vortexes. There's a double vortex, kind of looks like a Merkaba there. And this has the 12 main stargates in our part of the universe, which is Lyra, Orion, Alcyone, Earth, our Sun, Arcturus, blah, blah, Lyra, Sirius B. Okay, so there's that. Let me just see if there's anything else on this one I'd want to show you. Let's have a look at this. This is just looking at how the portals look in the different densities, density 1, density 2, density 3. Okay, well, I don't think we care about that right now. Okay, so this, and I hope you can see this one okay, is our natural solar system showing 12 planets. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so
Okay,
anyway,
cool.
So here's our natural 12 planets. And here you have the inner 5 planets, and here you have the outer 7. Okay? And so you go Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Then there's one called Chiron, and then there's Nibiru way out there. Okay? And then the inner 5 are the ones we're used to, I believe. I can't really, let's see, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Maldek. Remember, you know about Maldek, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that got blown up, and it's now the Kuiper Belt. So that was right next to Earth, or that was right next to Mars. Mars, Earth, Mars, Maldek. Okay, and anyways, in some of our sessions, we found out that there was a fight between Uranus and Saturn too. When Uranus kind of got moved into our solar system, Saturn didn't like it, and so they fought, and Saturn basically wiped out everybody on Uranus. But anyways, that's something that's been coming through in our sessions. That's not part of the Keylontic sciences per se. So they have some, this is the one representation, I guess, of the galactic year. Shows our solar system orbiting 26,000 years, Alcyone, and transiting the photon belt. So this one here is our solar system. And all these other, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
But see, there's a mistake right there, because it can't be 26,000 years, because 26,000 is a number outside of the wheel. It doesn't fit there. So it has to be 24,000.
I think it's like 24 and change, but yeah, that's fine. So anyways, they're saying this thing's 2,000 light years wide, which takes us that long to go across it. And that's probably where we have to be for all the neat shit to be happening. You know, the stuff that we're waiting for, we're not in the right part of the galaxy, you know? And then it's 11,000 years of darkness times 2, what they're saying there. Let's look at this one here. So same thing, they're showing Alcyone, Pleiades. I don't know what that donut is exactly, but it is all on a flat plane anyways. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this Keylontic sciences stuff because I only got a glance at it. They have a lot of written material, a lot of stuff that we can learn about. But
Makes a lot of sense.
I thought it seemed a lot like kind of what you're, very similar to what you're saying and come across.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Point it out.
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
The only thing, if Earth is some type of a globe, it's more like a donut inside of a ball of energy, um, which compose the atmosphere and other parts that we're not really aware about or that aren't really known. But the way it looks when I go there under hypnosis, it's strange. It's not the globe we're presented with.
Right,
There's
right,
something's wrong. I'm not saying that Earth is flat, but I'm saying that the model we're following is wrong.
right.
Something's not working. But I'm going to tell you something about this belief, this line of belief. They've been working us to believe in those kinds of fear stories for a very long time. They want us to be afraid of an invasion and all kinds of bad aliens. But what Hope says, what Babakwa says, is that there's only love up there. There's none of that. So
Right.
dark is not seen the way we see it down here. Darkness is just another energy. It's just another type of power that conceals a lot. That is. It's hard how they express it. It's hard to understand.
It was the
It's
main
just
thing
this.
that Electra said to me. I said, Electra, is there one thing you could teach me? What would it be? She said that everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, easy for you to
So
say. You don't have to have a job, and like you have to keep a roof
well,
over your head.
this is our conception. We created this, and this is what those in control have been doing. They've been using what we create against us. If
Yeah.
something creates a fear story, oh bang, let's use it. They created it. Let's wow. It's a
And
free
that's what her
story
answer
for them.
is.
Use it.
Well, this is
It
what you
comes
wanted, so it's perfect. I'm where I wanted
it
to
comes
be.
from the mattress. They like that. They love fear. Well, let's give it to them.
Right.
Because if you start to understand the golden ratio, if you understand this geometry system, if you understand those bubble of energy, everything is tied to it. All the knowledge that comes out of the Masons, the Masonic orders, it's all in relation. It makes perfect sense with that. But everything outside that doesn't. It's I don't know. It's starting to relate like that is the truth. It's starting to look like me that there's only one truth and that is it. But it's true that it's perfect. When you say that what is it, Electra that said that everything is perfect, well, I believe it. That I sincerely believe it. And when they say that all is love and are up there, well, they observe the plane of reality to learn because up there it's perfect harmony. It's only down here that is a big miss. And we choose to come where we want to go down here. We embody to to get codes of light, stuff that we haven't learned before to expand light. So makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I kind of butted heads with her a little bit at first, but then the more I thought about it, of course, it was all right. But I was just like,
But
it's perfect.
you understand how we are humans? We like fear. We pay to go see movies. Uh, uh, very shit. Sometimes it's so awful. I wouldn't be able to stand through the end. It's we give a lot of money to be afraid. We pay to go bungee jumping, to throw ourselves off of a plane, or uh, look at some type of the music we used to listen to, Ozzy Osbourne,
I
Black
love
Sabbath,
Ozzy,
and stuff
man.
like that.
That was
Oh
my
yeah, I love him too.
band. The fuck
I
is wrong
still
with you? It's
well,
my
I
favorite
used
band of all time.
the music I used to play as a teenager.
Oh, God.
It's we used to like that music because it was scary, but the mob rule. It was the, you know, this is what we come here to experience. And I'm questioning, should we take fear out of this world? Should we work on that? Should we even get involved into that?
Have you seen the video I sent you yet about Hal, the Hall of Remembering?
No, no, I was just starting to watch it
Didn't
before.
think you would have time for it, but what I would like to do is to start today's session off by taking you there first.
Okay, well, I want to do something real short today. Before we start, I don't need to go through induction. I just
Okay.
need 5 minutes alone, quiet, and
Perfect.
you'll just be able to bump in, and I'll be there with
Yeah.
Hope sitting at the crystal room right away.
Oh, okay.
Then, if you
I can't.
want to,
I want to show you around
we
Hal.
can. Hey,
I want you to see Hal. I want you to see if you describe it to me anything like the other people that have been there do.
okay, we can do that too.
5 minutes,
So
10 minutes,
what?
you know what I mean?
Okay, sure. Okay, so what is it?
Okay, so it's the Hall of Remembering.
Okay.
There's healing rooms in there that are run by mantids and Arcturians with all their technology in them. There's a grid working room where there's a big hologram of the Earth where we can see grids or ley lines that need to be activated and vortexes that are malfunctioning. Akashic records in there. A whole bunch of neat shit. And I just want to see if you see it the same. Okay? And
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah, and I don't know if it'd be easier for you just to hop in Bella and have her take you there, or if it'd just be easy enough for me just to send you there as the destination.
Well, I know that there's no problem with Bella. Like we should maybe go the way we usually go with her.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we'll put you in Bella because we've actually got a landing pad for starships and a refueling station there for them even. So it's funny. It's an awesome place. Where do you see it? But yeah. Okay. So take like 5 minute break. I'll go out and get me a little sunshine. Let the dog drink some water and stuff, and also allow you to access all frequencies of the universe to communicate with all beings on their level in a way that makes sense. In a moment, I'm going to count from 3 down to 1. When I get to 1, you'll be up at the Crystal City in front of the guards, ready to grab Bella Light. She can help us with our traveling. And 3, 2, 1, be there now. All right, Patrick, tell me what you're seeing. Should be at the Crystal City in front of the guards, getting ready to grab Bella Light.
I'm at the Crystal City, but I'm far away. Still far away. I'm across the room.
Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can call Bella Light to us. We'll say 3, 2, 1, Bella Light, come on down. See if she can come to us real quick. Is she there?
She's above the city. She's
okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and connect with her, get inside.
She's in front.
Yeah, I'd like to give her a little greeting. Hi, Bella. How you doing today? Nice to talk to you.
I'm inside the ship.
Okay, perfect. And just one moment. Just a second here.
She doesn't like ship. I'm inside the star.
That's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all.
She says she is pure consciousness, and ship is a
She says she's what?
word.
Okay.
Pure
Eh.
love.
Oh,
The
yeah.
word ship is not appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Right. Star being, I think is what we're going to call her, right? Perfect, perfect. Just take a moment to relax, feel into it, get used to these common perceptions that we've had many times before. All right, Bella, I'm going to count from 3 down to 1. I'd like it if you could take it to our friend Hal, the Hall of Remembering. And so let's see if we can do this for us. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. All right, and what are you looking at, Patrick?
I'm seeing concrete floor. Oh, not concrete, stone floor. Stone.
What color is it?
Mm, more like Egyptian beige.
Okay.
White, no lighter, more brighter stone than Egyptian. It's
Okay.
closer to like cream. Yeah, cream would be a good
Okay.
turtle cream. There's some very tall towers, not towers, like those big posts that
Like,
look like those, like the Roman Egyptian posts. But they're really tall, really big towers.
perfect. Columns, right?
Columns, yeah. Some are
Yeah.
broken off, but some parts of the temple are still full.
Okay. And in the middle of the room, what do you see? Is there anything there?
Kind of outdoors. There's a big circle in the middle,
Okay.
and it's around the circle. There's like four. Well, it looks like 8X that goes
Interesting.
across the circle, but on the circle there it stops, and it looks like a fountain that doesn't have any water in anymore. That used to work in the center of it,
Mhm.
but there's no water. It's all
Okay.
dried up.
Very interesting.
All around the room, it's not. Okay, there's a circle room where I'm standing in. It's like a big, and there are big columns, but there are remains of walls, but it's all been cleaned up. But on what's left of those remaining walls, there's um there's art sculptured. It's like some kind of story. It's packed with. It's all sculpted in. It goes deep. It's like a 3D sculpture. It's really beautiful. Amazing work. You must have spent a lot of time doing this. Beautiful. There's elephants.
It's
I
almost
can
like
see.
one of those, like the rock cut ruins is almost what it seems like.
Yes, but there's also, it looks like dinosaurs. Oh my God, there's all kinds of animals that I don't know. Well, they look like animals that we know, but not exactly the same.
Mhm.
But there's also at the end where I can see dinosaurs. And there's a circle under. It looks like every scene is like a piece of pie on the circle. As you go around the circle, it almost represent like a time, some type of a time capsule or
Mhm.
a very long period of Earth, or not sure if it's Earth or what it represents.
Okay.
I don't think it represents Earth. I think it represents general universe or something, periodic something.
Let's ask Bella Light, where are we at right now? Where is this place?
She's telling me to ask you.
Okay, good. All right, so this seems, is it, by the way, are you underwater or above water?
I'm not underwater. There's no water anywhere near where I'm standing.
Okay, okay,
Maybe outside, but I can't see any.
okay, okay, perfect.
Maybe outside the buildings, but inside here, there's no water anywhere.
Okay. I feel like we're maybe at a slightly different time if we're outdoors and it seems like it's in ruins, because what we just made is very fresh and new. And so what we want to do is we want to see if we can find the room where there is like a hologram of the earth in it. Okay, and we'll be able to see some lights on this globe. So I'm going to say we'll look for that. I'm going to count from 3 down to 1 and we'll see if we can be there. And we'll say 3, 2, 1, be there now. This should be what we call the grid working room. And it should be like a big wall of glass on one side and with a big hologram of the Earth in the middle. Are you seeing that at all, Patrick?
Hope is explaining something too.
Okay. What's Hope saying?
She's saying something about building blocks. If I don't put the building blocks in place, I won't be able to see it. It's something
Oh,
about my imagination. I'm not working with this.
right. Because you don't
She's,
understand it yet.
she's telling me I'm not going along with the design because it's a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a smaller collective, but it's still a collective design.
Yes. Part of the way it works is it should look different to everyone. So that is not unexpected.
She concludes
Yes.
does look different to everyone because it's a mystic design. It's made out of imagination, but it's a connection, knowledge,
Okay.
higher knowledge. She says it's a good way. It's a good way to connect to knowledge. That's what she's saying.
Okay. And let's see if
So
we can.
people
Hmm?
do this.
There also should be a healing room around here somewhere. I want to see if you can find your way to that. Maybe Hope can help you to find that, or Bella can.
Oh.
And then, what are you seeing?
Hope also has a suggestion for you.
Yes, please, Hope.
She's saying that you should relax or something. Are
I
you
am.
stressed out or something like that?
Oh my God, Hope, you're so good, Hope.
Really?
You're so good. Yes, I am.
Not
I am
really.
super stressed right now. You're right.
So you have to cut yourself from your reality.
Okay.
She says. She says it's not time to stress with stuff. It's
Yes.
time to. It's your time to enjoy now.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I need to have some fun. You're right. And I can kind of feel that love of yours filling my heart up a little bit, and it's making me feel better by the moment. You're right. And yeah, I just had it like an engagement just before we started this. It wasn't really super conducive, you know, to me being in the right frame.
So
Let me
she's
just.
saying, breathe hard, relax, bring your focus back into the reality of what we're doing. It's the same for me. I have to relax and work with the building blocks you're offering me.
This is an experiment, and
She's pulling back.
mhm.
She said she's gonna pull back for a bit, and we can try to go to that hall of records or something.
Okay, perfect. So, thank you, Hope. By the way, I really appreciate you. One thing I think is really neat about this experiment, Patrick, is
She's
that
already gone.
okay. Well, we're gonna go up and see her in about 5 minutes. I promise it won't be long. Let me just chill out just a little bit more. I'm gonna distract myself a little bit. I'll tell you a couple stories. Um, one of the things that's important about this hall of remembering is that eventually we will develop a system where we can send everybody here, and any type of healing can be received here. Any type of knowledge will be able to be accessed here by the people. So instead of having to teach somebody a whole new modality when we're going off and teaching people, we can just teach them how to come to the Hall of Remembering, and everything they'll need to know will be there. We constantly add rooms onto it all the time. New rooms, you know, maybe you come in there someday and there'll be a bowling alley or a pool table so I can relax a little more, right? Some better music playing in the background. I don't know. Now, one thing that's nice is there's also a meditation area. It's filled with plants. It's like a garden. We're getting ready to put in a pool there as well that will have pink water where some pink dolphins are going to live. They're called the rose quartz Madonnas. And one thing I love about the rose quartz Madonnas is they give you that beautiful rose quartz pink energy that just fills your heart up and allows you to relax, allows you to be at peace. So that's why they'll be such good residents of our meditation garden area. There's also a really big library. The library is so big, it goes up and up and up and off to every side and every direction.
I'm at the door of the library right now.
It should just be massive. Super massive. Someday we're going to have like a hologram of Hal that'll walk up and meet us and we can talk to him. He's not super talkative.
It's so big.
So big?
Very ancient records. There's even records that were, I don't know how it works, but they were recorded in crystals. There's like a section for that. And there's a huge section where it's all scrolls, like very ancient paper, stuff like that. And they're kept in some type of technology. They can no longer age. Those are the originals. There's it looks like a robotic, but it's not that type of technology. It's biological technologies. It's in those with consciousness. It's an area where people can, or beings, I should not say people, I should say beings can sit down and ask questions. It doesn't matter which language or.
Okay.
They just sit down and they can study.
Oh, it's getting such a good feeling.
Any records that they'd like to study.
Okay, so let's go see.
They can project it also. They can project with their the technology can project what the person is studying. It can project images and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can almost bring you to that period and stuff like that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Now
almost
you're
like
feeling it. Now we're
it's
in tune.
almost like a time machine, but it's, you can't. It's not like what we're doing. It's just that.
Right.
But you can see the images like if you are there, but you're there. But still amazing technology.
Right. So people that wouldn't be able to, let's say, travel so easily, they could come here and they could see different dimensions that they might not be able to normally get to. They could see different things back in time they might not normally be able to see. Just for fun, let's sit at the spot where we can sit down there and we'll ask a couple of your questions here and see what kind of answers we get. What do you think about that?
There, I'm already sitting. There's a guy answering the question, and it's my higher self, but he looks like Baba Kwaba, just bigger and a real funny dude. He's a real cool dude. He's dressed up like a bartender and ready to ask any question.
How can I help you today? Or we'll have to remember to leave a tip, right? That's what I needed. Yeah. So first thing we want to know is, what is the shape of the Earth?
Seriously.
It shouldn't be that hard of a question.
Okay, it's because many shapes appeared.
So it really does boil down to your belief then.
So yes, it's Okay, there's underdimensional. Okay, okay, he's explaining it in a way I've never seen before, and it's really, it makes a lot of sense.
Oh.
It's underdimensional. Our personal bubble as an akashic record of its own,
Mm-hmm.
and we're filling it at the moment with stuff that is real and stuff that is not actually on the physical plane, but that we believe in as real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like truth is something. There's a truth attached to every dimension, and if everything is possible, yes, a lot are believing that Earth is a globe, and a lot are believing, but there's something in it almost. He's saying that the truth is in the middle. It doesn't look like I'm seeing images of the collective truth he's showing me, and it doesn't look like the solar system is moving through. It's not. It's the whole field of stars that is moving around.
Mm.
It's also moving around it. It's so weird.
Right, because we want to talk about astrology and the way you've got like Scorpio and Leo, and they all come by at a certain time. And how do those astrological constellations affect the Earth, or do they?
He's showing me a lot of solar systems, and
Mhm.
some are aligned,
Mhm.
and some are not as bad as ours.
Mhm.
Some where Earth is there's no wobble. There's no moon. There's no moon around it.
Mhm.
The moon is not. Doesn't have that shape.
Okay.
Well, no, it's round, but it's bigger. It's just like a one of the other stars. It's not. I'm gonna try to go back to our collective reality.
Okay.
It's too confusing here.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Now what I'm seeing Earth, but I'm kind of above it. I
Mhm.
want to see, but it's so bright. It's like a star. It's not. I
Mhm.
can't see the continents or anything.
Mhm. Would this be the new Earth, the way it's going to be after the ascension? Are you in the
I'm
future?
back in. Okay, I'm back in there.
Mhm.
No, it's Earth as it is at the moment.
Okay. And the moon is still there?
Okay, I don't understand anything. Can you help me?
Yes. The Earth generates a light of its own, has a soul of its own that radiates.
Yes, he's saying that all planets, they all generate a different light
Mhm.
energy, not light energy.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's all light. He's saying, but we need for
Frequency
become
is really the word, right?
kind of.
Okay.
It's a mix of a lot of things, a lot of different types of energy.
Mhm.
There's a lot in play, and he's saying there are systems where there are more of these chakras, and there are others where there are less of those. And on the okay, he's showing me the big field I wanted to see. Oh wow,
Mhm.
it looks like on the plane of reality or the material plane. It looks like it's almost endless. There are solar systems everywhere. Everywhere you look, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on forever.
But they're not rotating around like a galactic center or the center of the universe or anything like that?
Doesn't.
Do they move at all?
Yeah, it's all moving
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Everything's moving, but at different speeds.
Okay. So what I want to know right now is how does
Well,
astrology?
the Milky Way is like the funnel of the space bubble. This is weird.
Right. So there's one big bubble that goes all the way around the entire Milky Way in a perfect bubble shape, right?
Oh yeah.
But the Milky
And
Way
this
itself
is
looks
where
like it's flat on a plane almost, right? If you look at all as one thing, or is it bubble shaped?
it's made like it's a cone shape,
Interesting.
but we
Oh,
don't
like
see
a
it that way.
vortex. It's like a vortex.
Yeah.
Oh, duh! That makes so much sense. So it's a torus or toroidal field, and all we
Yes.
can see is the one half of it that comes out of the black hole in the center.
Yes.
But the stuff on the other side, we can't see the other part of the torus because it's on the other side of the black hole.
Yes.
Wow, that's so cool, dude. So the same thing, if you look at planet Earth, do you see a torus on the planet Earth as well? For
I
instance,
don't understand. What can you repeat?
okay, yes. So let's say that you're looking at the planet Earth. Let's say that for a minute that it was a ball shape, and out of the top you would see a cone coming.
It is ball shaped, but the part where the water is, where the where we're living, the material, the hard part, it doesn't look like it's a real ball. It looks more like not a disc, but it's a weird shape. It's almost uh, like it's a balloon that has been squished, like to try to shape into a disc, but it's not getting there. It almost feels like it's gonna explode, but it's weird.
Right, because we are there. Are
I
there?
don't know if it's perception or what, but the shape is really weird. It's not the shape we think it is.
Okay. Well, let's ask the bartender there. Why do we get such conflicting information in sessions like this from different people?
Oh well. Okay. He's saying that this is what this is the experiment. This is exactly what we came here to do, to experiment. Yes, he's saying that we do need guides, but they're how can I say that? Not restricted, but they can only go with not really with belief, but you can only say so much to the level we get, I guess. Yes, to the level
Right.
we've reached.
Right, because you can't explain quantum mechanics to somebody that doesn't know what 1 + 1 is. You have to be able to have a foundation that you can work on and build
Yeah, he's
upon.
explaining that they cannot shake that foundation. They're not there to shake it, not one bit. They're not there to change our perspective of life. They cannot influence our belief.
Mhm.
They can only help with what we know. This is why we have to ask. The more exact our questions are, the better it is for them.
Mhm.
It narrows the information with what they can answer.
Right, right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Is there a firmament above the Earth?
Just a second, he's
Go ahead.
explaining that the information that they're allowed to work with is the information contained in our own personal bubble, like
Mhm.
our own personal belief.
Mhm.
But for He's talking about me.
Huh.
He said, because I've been, this has been the goal of my experiment, is to find the outer, to go behind the boundaries of my own belief, to find out the real quantum mechanics of all things.
This is why
This
you're
is
having
why
so
I've
much
been
confusion.
able, so much confusion, and that's why I've been able to access guides like Hope.
Hmm. She can help us to do that.
It's because she's a guide that of higher consciousness, or something higher, and I guess she's got more access to outer knowledge,
Hmm.
or something like that. Yeah, or she's more allowed to give me, or I don't know, something with,
She has
she
more
has something
leeway.
about being allowed to give more away, or something like that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because anybody else would basically have someone like Hope shutting them down, going, "No, you can't say that." Right. But since she doesn't have that person sitting over the top of her, she has a little more latitude to say what is real versus what we quote unquote need to hear.
Sometimes some type of authority. She's allowed to. I don't know if it's exceptional. She's allowed to maybe give me more information that those other guides, maybe Babakwa or higher self, would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's agreeing. It's just that
Okay.
it seems like it's right. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of images of Earth behind, again, that they're showing me, and I'm not sure. It seems like there's a relation to what we believe, and what it creates, and I don't know where these dimensions are.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that belief being bubbles of reality. So it looks like global Earth
Mm-hmm.
is either real or becoming real.
Mm-hmm.
But the Earth that we're living on right now, it's weird. I'm not sure if it's a globe. I can't say, and I'm not gonna say it's flat, but because it's not, that's not what I'm seeing. But
Right.
it almost feels like it's
Like a half a globe.
uh, holographic,
Mm-hmm.
something holographic inside a bubble of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
It's the continents are not. It's not, I'm not seeing what the NASA's, the images they're showing us. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like that. It looks more like an electric planet.
Mm.
It's strange. Look, we live on the star. We don't live on the rock. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Wow. Who knew, right?
Mm.
So let me ask you this, Patrick. We have come into contact with what we've always considered to be inner Earth residents, Shambhala, Agartha, Telos, these places that we consider to be underneath the Earth or inside of it or in the center of it. Where are they really, or are they even real things?
Okay. This librarian, he made a weird face when I said that. Like he doesn't want to be called.
Was he want to be a bartender? Does he want him to call the bartender?
Oh, he,
Can I have a margarita?
he's got big sunglasses and a cigar right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, seriously. Um,
Okay, let me ask the question again.
oh,
Okay, go ahead.
okay, no,
Okay.
he's showing me that it's the opposite polarity. Yeah, wow, I think I understand. Mm,
Because
okay, it's showing me for some realities, it's the flip side of the ball, like the other half that's under,
Mhm.
like the South Pole. looks like it's the South Pole, the other half of Earth.
So there really is a North Pole and a South Pole, is that right?
Oh my God. Okay. The way I'm seeing it now is that at the equator, at the reality line, something happens. I don't know. There's like the energy or crashing together or something. The energy molecules, and it creates that hard line of reality. This is so weird, man. I can't. It's very hard to understand what's happening here. There's light everywhere, all kinds of colors. It's crazy, and they're showing me different perspectives. I don't know why they're doing it. He's saying until my belief is fully anchored.
So there's only so much they can show you that you'll be able to accept.
Reality is really not what we think. We create reality.
This is part of the reason for the conflicting information we get, is because if one person believes it to be one way and another person believes it to be another way, they're both right. Is that right, Patrick?
He's saying in some way, yes.
Okay.
In some way, yes.
Okay.
But the collective, oh, there could be, there's, okay. The size of the collective, it's, yes, you're completely right, because many people can believe in something and many other people, another group can make it into something else.
Wow.
And the stronger the belief, the stronger, the bigger the group, the bigger the bubble of reality it creates. Because when he's showing me, when two people are talking together, it just becomes one bubble, and it's just a bigger bubble. If like you and I are sitting in front of each other speaking, we're sitting in one bubble of energy. That our big bubble becomes one bubble. This is where codes of information are exchanged without even us knowing about it. So when we go to a concert, this is how they can use the black magic to influence the whole crowd. Even those who are at the beer stand that are not watching the show, they're influenced indirectly because they're part of the bubble.
Can you say that part again? You said you go to a concert and you do black magic, and then what? That's how do they do that?
This is why someone that is, they're showing me someone at beer stand or something. And like this guy is also influenced, even if he's not sitting in the concert room, because he's part of the collective bubble, and the codes of information will affect him anyway, to a certain point.
So this is why we have predictive programming. Remember when we saw all these pictures of the towers going down so many years before they ever went down?
Yeah.
It's because they're trying to implant it in the subconscious of people and thereby make it real.
He's saying that yes, this was a multidimensional event.
Yeah, talk to me about 9/11.
This is you. This is a touchy subject, really touchy thing. But he's gonna explain something. He's showing me that is something that was programmed by the dark on a multiple reality base, like something big. It was really, really big.
Right. And they knew they were purposely trying to use our subconscious to manifest it. Because they knew that the larger of a group.
A lot of black magic was attached to this thing. And it's not even, we're not even close to understanding what was done to us there.
Right, because everything's changed since then. That might have been kind of part of the, Patrick always says that they keep taking our planet and putting it back to where it was. And I feel like that.
He's saying, just This is saying that 9/11 was a big trigger about the awakening. It's some of the key players, some of the those people who influence the grid, like let's say the Indigos and the Crystal Child and people like. Well, this was a trigger moment for these people, and it's these, I don't know. There's something all attached to this, something really, really big to that moment. This is where the light had to step in or something like that.
Right, because what they were trying to do, the purpose of it was to make sure that nobody got triggered, basically, to hold everybody back in fear. And what happened is the kind of the opposite of what they were planning is what I'm hearing. Or that it was so powerful that the light had to step in and say, no, 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 no. That's not the way it's going to go.
They knew that something had to happen at some point. This is just the way darkness, this just the way creation goes.
Right.
And oh.
So in a sense, the darkness. Go ahead.
It was programmed that at some point there would be something happening to trigger awakening. It's showing me all little lights lighting up slowly to light up like the old Christmas tree.
Okay.
It says that it starts with just one light, then two more, then three, then five, then eight, then it goes on and on.
Okay. That's super cool. Okay. And so now I want to ask a little bit about astrology. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a second. Seeing that this world was created out of darkness.
That makes a lot of sense.
And it's an evolution of light. It's like, just look at our cities, how dark they used to be, how people used to behave a long, long time ago, and look at today.
Right.
It's so bright, and now that we're cleaning up our act, if we can control the dark, we'll turn this earth into a new earth. It's showing me images of agriculture. A lot of people working in fields and stuff like that. It looks like all organic agriculture. It's showing me big fields of a lot of variety in the fields, fruits and vegetables and rice fields, different. I think this is the future. I think it's showing me new earth.
Yeah, so not so industrialized, people living in communes maybe, sharing.
There's technology, but it's different. People don't care to dress all very nice. They care more about being healthy, and you can see in people that they're very, very healthy. They're not, well, they look different than us.
How long do they live?
It feels like much longer, almost a double that what we're 200 years, close to 200 years old. For those who are careful. That's beautiful. I'm seeing communities where everything is based on the circle of life.
Okay.
Everything they're doing is based on that. More than one community. They're showing more community. It's almost like not the religion, but the belief of circle of life are coming back. Yeah, he's saying yes. I'm back in the room. Wow. That's so cool.
Okay. And I want to kind of divulge the topic a little bit, to divert it, to change. And we want to talk about astrology, how that works and why it works. Or if it even does, is it a myth?
Mm. Bella Light, I'm still connected to her
Mm-hmm.
right now. When she's talking, she's saying, of course, it's true. It, it couldn't be more true. It is us. It's where we're from. This is where we descend from to live this experience. This is
Mm-hmm.
where we live, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
This experiment that we're on,
Mm-hmm.
we created this. We're God.
Okay.
And we just send fractals down. We never send the whole thing. We stay in perfect harmony, in perfect love, and we just send fractals down to experience and get more knowledge
That's
and to feel love. Because when you're in high density light, you don't feel much. Well,
right.
you feel by consciousness, by knowing. So
Mm-hmm.
you can create absolutely everything. You're in control of absolutely all there is, all that is.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go down here, especially the world that we're in right now, so low, you lose complete control. So this is why we create we create these experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We created this experience. Nobody else, us.
There's all these.
So he's saying enjoy it, like with oh, okay.
Right, because
So he's
everything's
going,
perfect, right?
yeah, he's just laying back there. It is perfect. He's saying it is perfect.
How do
This
the
is perfect.
planetary alignments affect us? How does that happen? Like we're one day, Mercury goes retrograde, and everybody's in a bad mood. I mean, how does that happen? It's very confusing to me.
It's funny because the image they're showing me is man, the planets don't look like what we're shown. It's nothing like that.
Well,
Oh
we got telescopes. We can see stuff
no,
from.
that's what he's telling me. He says, yeah, start using those telescopes. Get images. Get your own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's saying also that we should be able to find some video on YouTube that shows that our planets are not don't have they don't look like what we're shown. So there are people who got good real images. He's saying
So
something
maybe
about
like amateurs out of their backyard.
yeah. Some I've posted videos on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube with the real images. He's showing me one of Venus. I'm seeing December, something December. So that guy filmed it in December. So maybe we could be able to get good images of Venus in December if we get a telescope or something.
Okay.
But now he's saying that guy has those images on YouTube. You should be able to find it. So Venus, December, if you want to know that.
Okay. I'm gonna look for that. Okay. And that'll give us a good idea of what the planets are really like.
And he's saying that there are other people who have images of Mars. Yes,
Mhm.
Mars.
Okay.
And Mercury and Jupiter. And wow, the images I'm seeing, they're stars. They're not planets like we're shown. This is, well, they're not at all like we think they are. Saturn has, well, I think, yeah, has rings, but it looks like a star.
Hey, Patrick, we were looking at something earlier today that showed that we had originally had 12 planets in our solar system. Is that correct or incorrect?
I think the total is 13, including the sun.
Sure, that makes sense. Okay. And then one of them is gone now, right? Maldek blew up.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And
Oh,
Nibiru just doesn't come by that often because it's such a big orbit. Is that right?
yes, they're showing me the orbit of what we call Nibiru, but they don't use that name.
Okay.
What you and I think Nibiru the name, and the orbit is really far out, and it's a huge. It looks like an icy star, like
An icy star. That sounds odd.
it's like on the outer field of the solar system.
Okay. And I believe I've heard
Oh,
it in such a way that Nibiru has control over its orbit too, right? It can come by whenever it wants to, or it can not come by if it doesn't want to. Is that right?
it says all planets can do it.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay, and I'm looking at a map here, and I show that there used to be another one called Chiron between Nibiru and Pluto. Is that a real planet still, or is that something that has moved on?
He's saying that we should know that by now. He's saying that their souls just like you and I, and
Okay.
the control, the body control they have, because it's such a huge mass. Because there's something like that. It's they cannot react the way you and I react.
Mm.
The field is much slower, but if Earth would like to, she could shake us really bad.
Right, just shake us right off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask a question about pole shifts.
Okay, go ahead.
He calls it a flip.
Okay, so they do flip. Interesting.
It's been caused by change of control.
Mhm.
So something with change of control, and yes, there was. It's not natural. Something
Mm.
caused it because things weren't in balance. They weren't going the way they were supposed to,
Hmm.
and maybe Earth caused it because it was not going right.
Okay.
Uh, she wanted to hold back to get to the lowest density possible. And then showing me a calendar in 2012. This
Hmm.
is where it flipped. We've reached the lowest possible, and now it flipped. We're going back up again.
Okay. How long is that going to take us to get us somewhere that's like really a lot more
So
positive?
he's saying it's over. These floods and stuff like that. They no longer, Earth is no longer gonna allow this,
Hmm.
because she the experiment, what she wanted to live to get to the lowest, she's been through it. It's in
Okay.
2012, or she was at that point, and now we're heading back up in density, or we're still in the dark or in the night or something like
Hmm.
that. In the winter, it's all the
Hmm.
same in relation. It's all relative,
Hmm.
but we're going back up. It's the lowest point is it's over. It's behind.
It seems like that could take hundreds of years or even thousands of years. I mean, it took so long to get to that lowest point.
Oh yes, he's saying thousands before we get to the highest.
It's kind of
It says many thousands a year in relation to the solar system, to that clock, but he's saying that there are higher powers that can bounce that clock or something like that,
oh.
because Paul's been waiting for us or something like that. And the event we've been talking about, I think it's in relation to that. Yes, he's saying yes.
Okay. Talk to me.
Says
Tell me about it.
there's a possibility that there could be some type of a huge reset that affects every dimensions and every dimensional density also. it's like everything would go up a stage. Like we're going up one floor in the flower of life, or that big multiverse. It would be like the whole thing would be going up one floor, everything together, because the big flower has got to a point where this is what's supposed to happen.
So
So even if Earth was held back,
mhm,
at some point they're just gonna push us through,
okay.
or something like that. At some point, something's gonna happen. They're not very clear, but I think it's the event they're talking about, or
Is there some
it's gonna affect the whole universe.
is there something that Patrick and I can do to help this to come about sooner or more smoothly?
Hmm. He says that on that side, that where the other side, where these energies operate, or where the guides are, or relation to this whole thing, they've been all waiting for us. They're no, not waiting, more observing us.
Right?
And
Laughing, I'm sure.
he's saying that they're really happy or content with
Mhm.
the work we're doing. And this is so big that all we can do is to work our personal bubble up the
Uh,
ascension, like
right,
showing diet,
right.
uh, vegan diet,
Okay.
and staying in high density. Don't never get how to control our emotional field, but not to the point of not being emotional anymore, but never to a point where we control our anger and
Mhm.
jealousy and stuff like that, where we don't let it affect us.
Right.
So they're natural feelings, they can occur anyway, but when you get to a point where you can control it, this is where you're ready to ascend. But if
Okay.
these emotions control you instead of you controlling them,
Hmm.
why would they let you up the ladder? They don't want.
Right.
It's
Right.
all harmony and perfect love up there. They won't let
They don't need us messing it up. Yeah.
you. And not only that,
Hmm.
someone that is not ready could not tolerate those higher densities. It's a world that
Yeah.
doesn't fit to that soul. This is why we're acute, or not collecting, but accumulating codes of life
Hmm.
by experimenting life. We're
Yeah.
going back up the ladder. We went all the way down, and
Hmm.
now we need to relearn everything.
Hmm. Very interesting. So it sounds like what you're saying is as Patrick and I raise ourselves, then we're going to activate people around us and help them to raise themselves because they will see us pick up stuff off of our energy fields. Is that's the best way we can help?
You see, he's saying again, don't forget that if you're all the time under the same bubble, so there is a collective reality,
Hmm.
and by some bubbles being very very bright, they shine on other bubbles,
Hmm.
and the darkest bubbles start being like grayish color, and then the closer it gets to the
Okay.
light, it ends up being bright until bubble is bright. Then when the whole bubble is bright, poof, it starts floating up to the next density. And
Oh,
then being in that next density, everybody becomes dark again, because the higher density that on the next level is much brighter. So again, now
right.
some of the bubbles will start that same process again, until they accumulate
Whoa.
enough knowledge to start floating up to the next level again. But
Right.
within each levels, you have to go. Oh no, we don't have to go. I think there's a copy of us everywhere on, because what I'm seeing, the plane where these bubbles are where we're living at the
Hmm.
moment, there's so many bubbles that it's endless. I can't see the end of it. It's
Mhm.
like their solar systems,
Mhm.
but there's so many that there's no way I could count it.
Mhm.
And I think there's an expression or something that we have to live through in each bubble, or something in relation to that.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Um, so when we were talking to different guides, then you're saying that they're only allowed to say things to us that are within our education or our the perception we already have, with the exception of maybe hope. Did I understand that right?
Yes,
Okay.
he's saying that he's talking about me again, saying that because I broke some vows, I claimed my no, not sovereignty, but I've claimed my own independence, my own control,
Mm-hmm.
and I've asked to reconnect to source.
Mm-hmm.
This is why this knowledge was allowed to me. And because of the higher, also I claim that because I came in because I was a bit of a higher vibrational field.
Mm-hmm. It was meant that you were going to do this all along, right?
It was meant, yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about the elect. Saying some of the elects are allowed to connect to hope earlier
Mm-hmm.
earlier in consciousness or some.
Right. Kind
I
of
guess he
blaze the
doesn't.
trail.
It's not very clear. He doesn't want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel the information coming very direct. So they
That's
don't.
fine.
It don't. It almost feels like they're uncomfortable speaking about it. I guess.
We can ask
I
Hope if we
guess
want to ask
they
her.
they don't like to speak about exceptions or stuff like that
Right. Especially
because
since
it can create. It could be uneasy for others or something like that.
right, right. And just mess up everything. We don't want to do that at all.
They
We're not
don't
trying to
like to get
interfere.
in details of exceptions or something.
The thing that I was hoping to achieve then, and maybe I can achieve it a different way, and I just think this would be a really fun experiment. I know a lot of people would, a lot of my friends would enjoy it as well. Um, we remember that one time Bella Light was saying she would love it if she could just be physical and she could just be small and ride around in Patrick's pocket every day. And I was just hoping to help her to achieve that dream and goal. You know, that's what I was really after because I like her so much and I knew she would like it. Uh, is there a way we can do that?
Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's my real goal.
He's
That's all I want.
showing me, he's talking about process of creation,
Hmm.
almost like opening a door
Hmm.
to this world to let her into material world.
Hmm.
He's
Because,
not really saying yes, but it's close to it. So yeah, he's saying yes, there's possibility to do it.
but I do want to talk about Bella Light because I do know her and I do know Patrick and I know his higher self and I know Babaqua and I know that any one of them would love to be closer to Patrick in a more physical way. And we're going to start off with Bella Light if we can. So how can we get Bella Light into Patrick's pocket?
He's saying that someone wants to show us those creative process or
Okay.
not process, I don't know, rituals,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Not rituals, but some of the guides, not him,
Uh-huh.
can
Okay.
can or will or wants to show us the way
Mm-hmm.
to start working these processes. That
Wow. Who's the
would,
guide?
would,
Can they come here or do we have to go to them? They
it's
can
gonna
come
be a
here.
it's gonna be a slow process.
Okay. Well, who's the
There's still
guide though?
stuff. There's still. They says there's still things that we have to understand. Um, he's saying that they don't work much like that anymore because a lot's been abused. A lot of humans have
Right.
done bad things with
Yeah.
these ways,
Yeah.
and it's a bit in relation to why it's being kept away because of the ignorance of the because there's so much darkness right now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they want to protect. They don't want to hurt anyone, so they're gonna start slowly as
Okay.
the light rises up. But they're gonna start working with us.
All
But
right.
hope is the one
Hope would. I
where it
figured it would be
starts.
her. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's saying about the highest authority that she's connected to.
Okay. Okay. Right. And we're probably going to need an exception for this. And so if there's anybody that can help us with that, I'm sure it would be Hope as well.
He's saying it is exceptional, all right, for this time, for where we're at on
Right.
the reality wheel or wheel, yeah,
Yeah.
wheel. He's
This
saying
is so
yeah.
exciting. This is so
So
exciting.
is it? Yeah, okay. So they calculate, I guess, time, not like we do. It,
Wait a minute.
the,
Stop for
the
a
clock,
second. Stop, because you're breaking up. So I just want us to relax, lower our excitement a little bit. I got too excited too. Okay, so you're saying they calculate time differently? Is that what you were saying?
yes,
Okay.
those beings, they operate with something that looks like a clock, but it's a
Mhm,
wheel within a wheel within a wheel within. It's all wheels like that
mhm,
that go on to a certain point. But these wheels have parts that overlaps over each other,
mhm,
and when they talk in relation to time, so I always see that, and that wheel has four colors. It's black, well, very dark metallic color, like almost charcoal.
mhm,
Um, Gold, bright light, very gold-like,
mhm.
and the other part is like silvery, and the other part is like white. Mm,
Okay. And this is
This is,
describing the clock that Bella Light operates on?
I think, all these beings, these higher beings, they all operate with on that system.
Oh, okay.
And this is like source divine knowledge that
Okay.
all these beings they all operate, even different languages, they
Mhm,
all operate with that. They can translate anything.
mhm,
It's in relation to all knowledge, all
mhm,
divine knowledge,
mhm.
positive
Or so
and
if I was to ask Hope what time it is, she might say it's gold.
male. Not really. It's not in relation to time. It's in relation to where we are at in the cycle.
Oh, okay. More like seasons almost.
They don't see time as we do.
Mhm, mhm,
They don't see it in the flat. They see time interdimensionally.
mhm.
Uh, it's nothing that I can explain any further because the images are so complicated. I need a board and a marker to be able to explain what I'm seeing.
That's okay.
There's so many there's so many dimensions just to this 3D reality.
Mhm.
It almost looks like it's infinite.
Okay.
But this is like the middle of the or the center of reality. I'm calling them bubbles because they're circles.
Mhm,
They're like solar systems.
mhm.
But there are so many of those. It's crazy. How can there be so many worlds? It's beautiful though. It's so beautiful. It's so much light.
It's very cool. One other question we were having was, how can we tell when information that we get during a session under hypnosis is good and valid, and when that information has been kind of tainted by the client's expectation or level of knowledge?
Okay, the way he's explaining it is that every client, every session it's on his personal knowledge. Second, they're doing something.
Okay.
They're doing something to.
Just relax. Nothing bad can happen here. Only good things.
No, they're not doing anything bad. They're doing something really good. It's just that it hurts a little bit.
Oh, okay.
They're moving stuff in my brain.
Is that the Mantids or the Arcturians, or is it the original the bartender guy?
I don't see who did it,
Okay.
but the bartender just told me to relax, that they would
Okay.
do something so I could see better.
Okay. We'll certainly ask whatever they want to do on me. I just want to let them know that I'm available for that as well and open to it.
He just said that he opened up a door.
Mm.
And I had some pinching in the middle of my brain, I guess, on the left side. This is strange.
Right, so you can share information between the two sides better and be more equally balanced between the two sides. Because as humans, we tend
Yes, it's about balance.
Yeah, because we tend to go into the logical side of our brain so much during our days when we need to be in balance with the logical and the creative.
He's acting like, oh my God, if people would understand how to balance themselves, it would be very interesting.
Right. We're all so out of balance.
Oh yeah, it's really, really bad. Everything's out of balance, the planet, everything.
Yeah,
Because we planned it this way. We wanted to see.
Right. That's the trick, is to get back to balance, right?
How much time it could get from the lowest to the highest.
Mm-hmm.
How much time it could be done. Like the fastest way to get to the highest density without. No, not without. I don't know what are the rules are, but we wanted to see something about. We wanted to go down to the lowest to then go back up.
Mm-hmm.
He's not expressing a lot. There's still a lot that we should be not allowed to know.
Well, because if we were to like speed up the process in any way, we're kind of robbing everybody of the trip and the journey.
Exactly.
Right. So we understand. Our impatience is maybe not everybody else is quite as impatient as we are.
Oh wow, he's showing me spaceships and everything. Huge fleet of spaceship. He's saying that it's all for us. It was all made. All this work was made for this for this experiment.
Wow.
He says that there's so much relying multiverse or something in relation to what's happening here. It's like it has slowed down the evolution of the universe for quite a long time, and it's about just to it's like it's been held back and it's about to be let go, and that let go will be when the event happens, and that big that big flash of knowledge coming into everybody remembering who they are, and the veil falling back, or what's of the veil is going to fall, or it's strange.
Yeah, so it's almost like it's been building up behind the dam, and the dam's going to break.
he loves it. He loves that way to express it.
I want to ask him about the session we were doing the other day with the A team or the Dream Team. I don't know what to call them yet, but we were doing some work in the grid working room with our big holographic globe, and we found a portal or a vortex that appeared to be somewhere in the Grand Canyon. And when we opened it up, it became multicolored. It was much different than all the other ones we saw. Can you tell us what happened and what was so unique about that particular vortex? Or was it just the fact that we worked on it?
He's expressing something about group reality.
Uh-huh. We did take a group. We opened up a vortex. Well, let's ask this question. Was that in the Grand Canyon like we thought it was? We weren't 100% sure the location where we were at. Seemed like it was
He's saying
kind of...
it's a different. He's saying it's not even in this time.
Oh.
He says it's you've tapped in a dimensional reality, or a collective created dimensional collective creation, something like that.
Okay. We felt like we let
It's
off a
in
lot of
relation-
pressure that had been built up.
It's in relation to another dimension or something like that.
Mhm.
He says all these things have to be repaired or healed.
Okay.
Yeah. All these dimensional realities have to be healed.
Mhm.
He cannot connect to it. So, you don't know, he's saying that he knows what you're talking about,
Okay.
but he cannot see himself.
Okay. That's fine. And when we look on that globe, we see we see yellow lights and brown lights, and the idea is that anything is brown, we just need to turn it to yellow, right? And that will be helpful to the planet.
Things not that simple.
We want to help the planet. What can we do? We love Gaia. That's what our group is called for. We'll make her life better.
Okay, he's saying if we understand how energies, how torus or energy rotates,
Right, the vortexes.
yeah, they all work in the same mechanics. They all work on clockwise or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's what we've seen.
So if we find vortexes that are anti-clockwise, or that the energies are swirling the other ways, because they've been messed with.
Mm.
If we work for the light, it's a balance. We should bring them back to the right, to the original
Okay.
structure,
Okay.
and change the rotation. We can use a crystal on the pendulum or something, or even a crystal at the end of the stick,
Mm-hmm.
and by belief and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay, for crystals, it's on material reality.
Mhm.
If you find a vortex that is anti-clockwise, you can bring it back with crystals or something like that. But if you're working in sessions this way, with power of mind, we can fix those dimensions, bring back the energies the way they should function, and
Okay.
and you should be able to guide one of them. You should trust your instinct enough to find the one in the group to guide you, to give you the information necessary to understand everything.
Yeah, I think we probably have the people there that will know what to do and where to do it. But generally speaking, if we're looking at that holographic globe that's inside of the Hall of Remembering, that's in the grid working room, the ones that are yellow are good, and the ones that are brown need some work, right?
Well, that's the system you created, of course.
Okay, good. That's the way we like it. Just want to make sure.
You want you to understand that that's the system that you created. So that's your belief. You have to go by your belief.
Yeah, I think that works. I can work with that. It's nice and easy for me. And it keeps things simple for other people
But
to come by.
he's saying that it's a mechanic that you guys have created, and yes, it does work. And you just have to trust it and go with
Perfect. All right, I love that. Thank you very much. Now, Patrick, first of all, how's Patrick's body holding up right now? He looks great to me, but how you doing, Patrick?
it. We're real good.
Okay. Now, do you
I
feel
don't
like
feel the body anymore, but I'm okay. There's no stress.
Yeah, you look great. You sound great. Energy looks great. Everything seems fine. And in fact, this method seems to be something that we can do for a very long time if we wanted to. But I was going to ask, do you want to maybe go up and see Hope now and just say hi to her? We haven't said hi to her yet.